What in the world is the FBI director doing?
My life and realize there's nothing left, cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my...
Is he protecting a federal asset named Nick Fuentes? Well, that's what some people believe is happening right now, as of course the discourse here specifically about Fed infiltration has reached a very interesting crescendo with the very serious accusations against Nick Fuentes, who is countering them right now in the making of this video. Who is in the right here, as it looks like this is somewhat of a coordinated attack on him. Do you believe he's a Fed or not? People are, of course, talking about that right now, and we will be doing our best to try to do a deep dive into this particular conversation in the most honest, earnest way that we can here, as Alex Jones is coming to the defense of Nick Fuentes in very interesting ways as well. We will be covering all the sides of this particular internal conflict and beef from a nuanced kind of perspective. And if you appreciate that, subscribe, click the notification button. We always greatly appreciate all of the attention and time that you're willing to, of course, spend with us. Now, let's just get right into it, as now even Elon Musk is implying that Nick Fuentes is an FBI asset, as he just left some very interesting comments under Milo Yiannopoulos' attacks on him. Now, a lot of people are saying this is Nick Fuentes right now, and it does seem that vast majority of the people are definitely captivated by this conversation, to say the least here. Now, I decided to go on Twitter and ask people, do you think Nick Fuentes is a Fed? I'm going to be laying out arguments for and against this. So far in the making of this video, 43% say yes. 57% of my Twitter audience says no, as people are saying use polls to form opinions. That's not what we're going to do here. We just posted the poll here. We're going to go through the good and the bad, the details here, which I think do matter in the context of exactly what happened with Cass Sunstein, Obama's information czar, that talked about spewing dissent in a movement, as that is the perfect way to, of course, sabotage a movement. Is that what is happening here? As, of course, some people are saying that there is a situation of Fed jacketing here. And on one side, we have Candace Owens, Milo, Elon Musk, it looks like Owen Benjamin, and others like Andrew Meyer, versus, of course, Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is getting support, though, from Alex Jones and from other individuals like Elijah Schaffer. And again, you either love him or hate him. As right now, Milo Yiannopoulos 2 hours ago tweeted, quote, "Remember when Nick had his money frozen by the DOJ, question mark? Ask him how he got them to unfreeze it. Answer, informing. Then ask when it was unfrozen. Ask him for proof. He was lying to fans every day, taking cash off teens, claiming his account was frozen 6 months after he, quote, got it back." Elon Musk responded to this by saying, "Doesn't make sense that the FBI leaves Fuentes alone unless he is an asset of some kind." And Nick Fuentes, of course, responded here saying, "Everybody can see what you are doing," posting the definition of bad jacketing, which is a term for planting doubt on the authenticity of an individual, so bona fides or identity. As examples would be creating suspicion through spreading false rumors, manufacturing evidence, etc., that falsely portrays someone in a community organization as an informant or member of law enforcement. Now, it is important to note here that Milo is making these declarations, and there is no proof other than circumstantial hearsay against Nick Fuentes. Now, Milo's response here definitely amplifies this very significantly, as Milo responded to Elon Musk by saying, and other people are responding here, being, of course, suspicious of Milo himself and saying, well, I think Milo's the Fed here. And a lot of people are being accused here of being Feds, including even Elon Musk here, as one person says, "You are a literal government contractor." And the responses here are definitely mixed here, to say the least. Milo then continues on and says, "This is the sort of thing that law-abiding ex-residents are concerned about, as he specifically is talking about the potential of bots and engineered comments being placed here, as he is trying to kind of hint here at the possibility of Nick's account of using paid engagements and bots in order to promote himself and his ideology and his talking points, as well as the fights that he has with other right-wing online kind of personalities out there. Now, again, more accusations. He posted a chat between an unknown person talking about how they could do bot impressions and look like legit ratios. And listen, there's a lot of pushback against Milo now, and him kind of hinting at, hey, this could be all feds here, as he has posted more circumstantial evidence surrounding this, is also something that I think is worth debating, investigating, and looking into. Now, there's another video of Nick that we're going to be playing from January 6th, which a lot of the main kind of allegations kind of come from. And we are going to tell you the pro and the con arguments for all of the individuals involved here. We're going to play you the Alex Jones clip. And before doing any of that, we wanted to tell you about WeAreChange.shop, our own shop, where we have great products like our fish oil products that is called Essential Fatty. I like fish oils. I took some blood tests. Doctors like, you should do some fish oils. I did, and I feel a lot better when I do. It really helps with your brain function, heart health, overall health, and longevity. We have, of course, a lot of people coming out and talking about, hey, especially if you're a smoker, there's some crazy, insane studies specifically talking about smoking and fish oils. Dr. Rhonda Patrick came out and said omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA, may directly protect against inflammation-triggered depression. In one study, healthy participants received injections of liposoluble, a bacterial toxin that reliably induces inflammation and depression symptoms. Individuals who pretested with EPA, a powerful anti-inflammatory omega-3, remained symptom-free, while individuals who didn't receive EPA rapidly developed mood disturbances. EPA exerts this protective effect by boosting the production of resolvins and protectants, specialized molecules that quickly shut down the inflammatory process. Again, we made sure to source it from small fish, sardines, 2,500 milligrams of fish oil, EPA, and DHA available right now on WeAreChange.shop. Now, let's go back here, because, again, this conversation that's happening right now is definitely captivating and dividing the internet here. I want to give you my perspective and what I think at the end, because I want you to watch this video. Let's just be real and honest with ourselves here. As now Milo retweeted a video of someone online highlighting a video from Nick Fuentes on January 6th, as Milo responds to this by saying no charges because Nick was one of the 30 or so confidential informants working for the FBI on January 6th to entrap Trump voters. His victims were tortured for years in jail. At least 5 have lost their lives. Here's the clip of Nick here that's being put in question, with Elon Musk even responded to this saying,
Keep moving towards the Capitol. It appears we are taking the Capitol back. Keep marching and don't relent. Never relent. Yeah. They're evacuating the Capitol. They're evacuating. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. This Capitol belongs to us now. They're evacuating the Capitol! They're evacuating the Capitol! They're evacuating the Capitol! The police are evacuating the Capitol! Politicians don't laugh! Scurry out of the people's house!
yeah. Now, listen, it is kind of weird. It is kind of strange, as there was other individuals like Owen Schroyer that didn't do things like this, that were charged and put into jail for actions that were a lot less inflammatory, than what Nick was saying and doing on January 6th. So on face value, automatically you're like, well, yeah, that is weird that there were no charges here, as this has been kind of the main kind of hearsay against Nick Fuentes to say, yeah, maybe he is a Fed here, as a lot of people, even Elon Musk was like, but Alex Jones has a different rebuttal to this that I think is important. And I trust Alex Jones, and his commentary on this, I think, is important. We're going to play that in a little bit, as even Syrian Girl comes out saying, yes, Nero, but you are an informant for the FBI agent, Richard Spencer, against Richard Spencer, but it wasn't confidential. As people are saying, holy ish. People are saying certain STDs here, as he continues on, saying Nick had trouble getting around for a while, not because of his politics, but because he verbally assaulted a stewardess. Quote, I hate the uppity bees too. But the point is, Nick lied about the reason he was having difficulties flying certain airlines, like he lies about, quote, everything. Milo also posted this letter saying, a lot of you will remember sending Nick the last bit of your paycheck second half of 2021 because he told you the feds had his money. He posted a letter talking about how the request to freeze the above referenced accounts is being, quote, withdrawn. Now, Candace Owens has been joining in this. Tucker Carlson also recently attacked Nick Fuentes, as a lot of people are saying, this is a little sus here. And people are saying that this is a coordinated attack. We'll get into that evidence. First, we want to hear out the evidence against Nick, and then we're going to give you the kind of counter evidence in order to balance out this video in a way that I think does it justice here. As Candace Owens went online and released this kind of long diatribe here, saying, quote, he lied about the reason his bank account was frozen. He can't seem to explain why a random French guy gave him $250,000 worth of Bitcoin before he took his own existence. Also, that individual for work offered his web services to create online trolls. He passionately defends Emmanuel Macron to the point that he is going on shows to make people believe that I work for Russia through the Tate brothers, an oddly specific claim that surfaced today in the Financial Times, and it turns out came from the former federal prosecutor that the Macrons have hired to investigate me. Nick just had the same idea, I guess, first. Question mark. He keeps lying about his J6 testimony. He absolutely never denied he worked with or for the feds on that day. He only denied that he was interviewed by them thereafter. And he never handed over his devices thereafter. Seems weird for his lawyer to go off record with the judge in that moment as well. Nick had this mysterious idea that people should specifically storm the barricades, ignore the police, and take the Capitol on January 6th, but he himself did not enter the Capitol despite urging others to do so. Plus, he randomly bought a bullhorn to hear Trump speak, question mark. He never charged, and again, lots of circumstantial kind of loose extrapolations here. She goes on, quote, he was never charged on January 6th and lied and claims people were only charged if they went inside the Capitol. Brandon Straka never entered the Capitol and was charged for encouraging people to ignore police. Again, Owen Troyer was arrested for his rhetoric afterwards, which is pretty crazy. My interview, we planned and discussed cutting a controversial trailer together to promote my sit down with him. 10 days later, he mysteriously pretends he was shocked and misrepresented and under attack to make people think I was trying to misrepresent him. See below later, that night, he would rage on his stream that he was set up by the trailer. And now, after crying for weeks about how no one will have him on, he is trying to craft a performance that he has completely cooked me, which is why he can't come back for a debate about all of his lies. I honestly hope he is a Fed because it's more contemplatable to just be this honest. Wow. Listen, this is a very public spat here that if you're against the right, you probably are fanning the flames of. Let's just be real with ourselves here. A lot of this kind of division, a lot of this type of attack here really isn't kind of productive, especially in the point in time that we are all in right now with an administration that is not really listening to its constituents, as its constituents are too busy ripping each other to shreds here. Now, if you look at Cass Sunstein, he wrote about how to stifle and destroy movements. And he literally talked about how you should have fake people that represent certain ideas, take it to the extreme, and make everyone seem crazy by doing so. Now, some people believe that individual is Nick. Now, Cass Sunstein, Obama's information czar, who literally wrote the case for misinformation, the case for government censorship, the case for destroying any kind of controversial anti-government ideas, he specifically used it and implemented it against 9/11 Truth, a movement that I had a lot of experience with. And there were a whole bunch of crazy people saying a whole bunch of absurd stuff that everyone then correlated. Oh, that's you. You believe it was a B-bomb and his laser space weapons. And I'm like, dude, I never said that. But then all the news commentators were like, oh, you believe in holograms. And I'm like, what are you talking about here? I'm like, there's family members and rescue workers here that are just, one, trying to get justice, trying to get answers, and trying to get medical health benefits that they were promised as you guys literally spewed asbestos everywhere. But, you laser hologram. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not what I'm talking about. But again, that's how you muddy the waters. Some people argue that is Nick here. Now, it is important to note here, there is also, as Cass Sunstein wrote about in his official kind of documents that he publicized, that I confronted him on, that he denied ever writing, talking about the importance of having infighting and promoting infighting to the point where if you look at what Candace, Milo, and Tucker are doing, is kind of indicative of that. Okay, let's just be real with ourselves here. Now, I'm not saying there's any proof or evidence of either of these allegations against all these individuals. As again, I would need to see a lot of evidence to jump to any kind of conclusions legitimate against Nick or not. Absent of evidence, this is just hearsay, and I think a really big distraction away from us being able to actually achieve something. I mean, for the first time in a long time, the corporate media is absolutely irrelevant. We're more relevant than ever, and we're taking the time to attack each other. I mean, this just seems ridiculous. This just seems like a huge waste of time. As, of course, as an independent content creator, you used to attack the corporate media, you used to get views. That doesn't work anymore because they're irrelevant. So I think some content creators are like, what if we attack each other? We'll get all their views. And I think that could potentially be a driving factor here. As now, Candace Owens is talking about how she wants to have a more open discussion here. She wants to have Nick to come back to Nashville to do a live show. Dan Brazilian could potentially moderate here. As a lot of people are saying, that is not going to, of course, happen now. Listen, I think conversations are great, and I think they're very important here. Now, Nick has officially responded to Elon Musk when Elon Musk said, especially with that video footage that you just saw Milo tweet, saying, quote, I was on Bill Barr's enemy list in September of 2021, according to Project Veritas. I was subpoenaed in the January 2022 by the House Select Committee and testified under oath that I was never involved with federal law enforcement. This is the definition of, quote, Fed jacketing. And Alex Jones here has come to Nick Fuentes' defense here and talked about how his lawyer actually represented Nick as well during all of these proceedings. And he has come out and said this.
I knew the lawyers. In fact, Nick ended up hiring my lawyer, Norm Pattis, when he was on no-fly list, had a bunch of other stuff happen to him, and they were trying to indict him and all the stuff on J6 and coming after him. But then you're getting that from the same lawyer you have, so you're not supposed to talk about it, that they're like subpoenaing him and coming after him and doing all this stuff and trying to get witnesses against him. And I'm like, no, they don't do that. They didn't go after Ray Epps. Behind the scenes, they were going after Nick, and it was real because I knew.
Now, the fact that they didn't get Nick is still a little strange here. Is it just government incompetence? Is it just the government just dropping the ball here? I mean, you would think with so many people going down that would happen here, but Alex again confirms they were trying.
2 days ago, Project Veritas releases all these videos with the handwritten notes, the emails, the text messages with Bill Barr and Sinclair Broadcasting and Armstrong Williams in Georgia with Barr and the former Attorney General of Trump, who he knows former CIA and DOJ twice, Bush's and then Trump, on, well, you want a racketeering charge because that's too hard to beat. And indeed, they got that. And then it goes back, then saying target Nick Fuentes in 2023 and target Nick Fuentes in 2021.
I was just with Stuart Rhodes here. He's pictured here too. I should ask him about this.
You got Bill Barr that's everywhere something evil's going on. And he in 2021 and 2023 is saying, I want you to get General Flynn, Alex Jones. I want you to get Nick Fuentes. I want you to, it goes down the line.
Now, luckily, listen, to add to Nick's defense here, they didn't get Alex, they didn't get Flynn, and they didn't get Nick here. Now, did all of them participate in part of some government conspiracy? Listen, this is my kind of understanding here. Also, it's important to note here, individuals like Elijah Schaffer also are coming to the defense of Nick Fuentes. He has come out and said
as
this.
somebody who was there on January 6th, somebody who was in the Capitol, I saw Nick there at the place. I didn't hear him say a speech. And I'm going to tell you this as somebody, this is a total non-biased interaction. I am 100% confident that Nick is not a federal informant and is not an agent by any means, and I'll explain to you exactly why.
And then he goes on in 8 minutes, describes exactly why he believes that he is not a fit here. Now, Nick, again, will be addressing a lot of these kind of allegations against him on his own show. And I definitely do believe that any kind of person accused deserves to, of course, to answer back against a lot of the accusations here. But I find a lot of these accusations a little kind of unnecessary. As, of course, listen, we have the ball, right? The media dropped it. We got the ball. And independent media, we're at a point in time where, listen, this is not really conducive towards a team environment here. And the long and short of it, especially being in alternative media for 21 years, there's always dramas, there's always fights, there's always personalities. I try to avoid it because I'm like, okay, what do I want my legacy to be here? Now, whether Nick is a Fed or not here, whether Milo is a Fed or not, or this is a Fed operation against Nick, all this talk outside of any kind of legitimate evidence, I think is counterintuitive and destructive. And I think it's unnecessary. And I think we should be bigger people and not engage in these type of slanderous accusations against people, because it doesn't really solve anything. You always judge a person by the fruit of their labor. You always judge a person by what they're willing to, of course, produce and the impact that they have on people. And at a certain point, we kind of got to look at ourselves and be like, what are we doing? Are we producing something net beneficial for the general public, or are we just fighting and trying to attack each other and trying to destroy each other? That would be, I think, that the common sense here. And again, my 2 cents on it, I don't see any kind of legitimate evidence. There's circumstantial accusations against all the sides fighting against each other. And to me, this is a huge waste of time. And if you agree, share this video. I appreciate you guys doing that. I appreciate you guys checking out my store at wearechange.shop. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And I hope you guys appreciated this video. If you think I could do anything better, let me know why down in the comment section below here. Again, I think the lessons of caste sensitivity need to be remembered here. And I think we all need to be a lot less egotistical. And we got to move forward in a way where we got the ball. Let's do something great with it instead of just dunking and crapping on each other. That's my 2 cents. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.